Minecraft Hardcore is the ultimate challenge, one of the most difficult things this little block game of ours has to offer, where if you die once, your whole world gets deleted. Recently, I posted part 1 of this series, where we survived the first 100 days getting settled, asserting our dominance over the land, slaying a dragon, and taking to the skies. Now it was time to continue on, and attempt to survive for 200 days in Minecraft Hardcore. Oh, and also, before we continue, I'm gonna be every single YouTuber in the history of YouTube and ask you to please subscribe. Analytics aside, even though they're kinda still here nonchalantly, it brings me joy to see so many new people coming along and sticking around. That sounded dirty. Nah, but for real. If you enjoy what you see here, please subscribe. Not all my jokes are this bad, I hope. On day 100, I crawled out of my mattress and stood upon my balcony, looking over what I had created in the first 100 days, trying to get a feel for it all again. It had been a few weeks since I last played. My first act as king on day 100 was to bring back an old friend from my original 100-day series on Skyblock, the task wall. I recalled how useful it was to me, and how I used it literally every single day during those times. I missed it, so it was time to bring it back. On the pathway up to my starter house lay a tiny plateau, which I decided would be a perfect place for my task wall. Chopping down the trees to get a better view of it, I stylized it with a small bit of depth using some stairs, just so I wasn't looking at a piece of plywood. Now it was time to add the tasks. What exactly would these tasks be? Well, I actually let you guys decide that. In the comments of the first 100 days, I asked you guys to give me things to do for this video. And, oh my god. So after a bit of time, I had my goals. The original goals that were given from you guys included creating an iron farm, make an Enderman Farm, slay a wither, raid an ocean monument, get full netherite tools, and the most highly requested thing was to create a full diamond beacon. Sounds like a lot, right? I also created some tasks for myself, such as getting a trident, fixing the creeper farm foundation, and most of all, expanding my town. I chose to tackle the Creeper Farm Foundation first, giving myself a chill and simple job to do just to get back into the swing of things. Accompanied by my dog, which I had completely neglected and forgot about during the first 100 days. What a loser. I went to go collect andesite from a nearby cave, and finally got to work on the foundation. My goal was to make the foundation look stronger with the help of andesite pillars. There we go. I think I'm happy with that. I think that's a task done. Another task that I began to work on after finishing that was getting the mending enchantment onto all of my tools, so that I could easily repair them once I made an XP farm. Using the farmland I had expanded nearing the end of the first 100 days, I used the fortune pickaxe to increase the amount of crops I received. Heading to the villager's house, I traded these crops with the farmer, and with a few books, I bought a bunch of mending books from my mending villager, and began to apply them to my tools. 2 levels. 3 levels. Oh my gosh. 2, 5, why? Okay, we'll do that last. 9, oh, even worse. For the next few days, I focused on making the Doc M77 Iron Farm design. This is a farm that I make in almost all my worlds. I prepared all the items I would need. So let's put all this stuff in here. And chose a spot very close to where the villagers resided to build my farm. I tried to make sure that this farm didn't look too out of place, so I constructed a small building neighboring the villagers' home for easy transportation of them. For this farm, I would need 6 villagers and 1 zombie, so this spot was very convenient for the villagers. Once I was done in the house, I headed upward to begin building the farm. Once I created the structure, I needed the components. I started with the villagers, and I knew that soul sand elevators would be the simplest way to get them that high. The farm was approximately 70 blocks above sea level, so I would need over a stack of water source blocks in order for the elevator to work. Thankfully, kelp can help. Rhyme. Ignore me. With kelp, you can place it in flowing water sources to turn them into actual water source blocks, since the elevators stopped working if they weren't source blocks. I chose not to sleep once this elevator was completed, for the main reason that other villagers wouldn't get in the way since they would be asleep. I could simply wake one up, lure them over to the elevator, and using some strategic pathways, lead them into their new homes. So that's what I did throughout this night. My villagers had gotten even more busy, so I actually had enough villagers left over to continue the population once I was done. Sadly though, I had to use one of my infected villagers since I ran out of regular ones. I'm going to be sacrificing, I think, I'm going to be sacrificing one of my book villagers And I think it'll be the feather falling one, because I don't need feather falling at this point. So it won't be this guy, but it'll be one of these two up here. Once I was done that, I knew that what I had just done was the easy part. I had bad memories of getting a zombie into a golem farm from Skyblock. So I knew that if I were to do this, I would need to do it properly on the first try. Now, normally I'm not one to brag, but I think I earned it this time around. The way I got the zombie up is hard to explain, but I'll put it this way. Multiple soul sand elevators and luck. Dumb luck. And of course, you know, skill. Come on, you got this. You can get me, I know you can. Yes! Go! Okay, guys. Okay. Whew. Go on. I don't have soul sand there. Why don't I have soul sand there? Oh my god, I am stupid. I am stupid. Why don't I have soul sand here? Yes! Oh! He's in! Now, all that was left to do was remove all the elevators, let the zombie see the villagers, and wait for the iron to start rolling in. This farm should be active. Oh my god! This thing should be... There it goes already! Right in there. There we go! Yes! Oh, that synchronous damage is so hot. Dudes, we did it. I'm staring at your crotch right now, Golem. How do you feel, huh? Once the farm had given me enough iron, I made it fully automatic by placing hoppers under their feet. And with that, the iron farm was officially complete. So I probably got about 50 or so comments asking me to make a diamond beacon. I heard you, alright? I knew that if I wanted to actually create this diamond beacon, I would need to start mining sooner than later. However, I didn't own a regular beacon, so how was I supposed to collect all 23 stacks of diamonds that I would need? The answer? Swamps. If you watched the first 100 days, which you probably should if you haven't, you may remember me trying out a strategy to find diamonds using clay patches and lakes. At that time, I had no idea where a swamp was, and I didn't own an elytra, but now I could search for one. My search brought me to a lake in the Mega Taiga instead, and seeing that there were clay patches, I decided to use the strategy here first. Unfortunately, my success rate in this lake was quite low, but I still managed to find a few. Are we gonna go for like 4 for 4 or for no diamonds with clay? Nope, we're not! we got it this time. Hello. Despite how boring the strategy would be, simply digging straight down over and over and over again, the tactic actually proved to be quite deadly, and not in a good way. Jeez! What do we even do about this? Do we keep going? I think we do. I think this is what we're gonna do. Oh, that helps. Oh my god. Ooh, there are so many mobs here. What the hell? Oh my god. After pillaging the lake of all clay and gravel patches, I continued on my search for a swamp, and it didn't take long. And we're on to another stack. Guys, after pillaging the lake, I began to realize how boring and tedious this method would be to get a full diamond beacon. But not wanting to let you guys down, I pushed through it, and I'm glad I did, because somehow, on my first try, something happened to me that has never happened to me before, even after playing this game for over 10 years. What the? Wait, whoa! We found the fossil? Bro? I need to take a screenshot of this. I gotta put this in too. We found a freaking fossil! I'm not gonna like mine it up to see what it looks like or anything. That's not the unbox really, but wow. After that experience, I was completely rejuvenated and motivated to push on. After another 3 days, I returned home with over 2 stacks of diamond ore. I placed them all into one big pile, and using my fortune pickaxe, I turned nearly 2.5 stacks of diamond ore into 6 stacks of diamonds. I realized what this meant. It was just simple math. I would only need to take 3 more successful trips like this to actually make this beacon. I already had 6 stacks and I needed 23. And this realization tempted me to go out there again and continue. However, there were other tasks that needed to be completed. The diamond beacon was going to have to wait, for now. Now, it was time to get even more established. A good XP farm is an essential component of a good survival world after the death of the dragon, because XP farms can quickly restore mining tools to their fullest potential. When I was mining for diamonds, I knew that I could use the stone I was getting for an Enderman Farm, so I made sure to collect every piece of cobblestone I mined. Multitasking at its best, if I do say so myself. After putting all the materials I thought I would need into a shulker, I headed out to the stronghold, and I wasted no time entering the end dimension once again. Once I bridged over to the main end island, which I actually hadn't done during the original fight due to me using a pearl instead, I began to slay Endermen in the hopes of getting enough pearls to spawn an Endermite. The farm I was building was the classic one-hit kill farm, which requires a huge platform, an Endermite, and a killing chamber 43 blocks or so below the platform. Once I collected enough pearls, I was ready to begin construction. I poured water off the obsidian platform and very precariously placed blocks down the Y level 1, which was where this farm would produce the highest spawn rates. Once I hit the bottom, I knew I would have to fall into the void, just a little bit, in order to place the final block, which went about as well as you'd expect. So you have to place this last block into the void. Work! Oh my god! Oh! It didn't work for a second, it activated and deactivated. Oh, that was scary. I began bridging out from the main end island to maximize spawn rates, and while doing that, I realized I had made a huge mistake. I'm gonna do a thing of slabs, I think. Did I forget a crafting table? Wow. I forgot a crafting table. That's shocking to me. I don't usually do that. Somehow I brought trapdoors and a name tag named but not a crafting table. So I reluctantly flew back through the portal to get some wood. I won't make that mistake again, that's for sure. Once I made it back out to the platform, I gathered all the cobblestone I would need and got to work. Once I was done, I broke away all the torches and protected my new Endermite, who now sat tall, just out of reach of the lanky man. And before I even broke all the torches, the farm was already working. Now it was time to use it. Since I completed the Enderman Farm, I chose to look for a Trident next. It took multiple searches to get it, and my first one went a little something like this. While searching my world for a swamp to mine diamonds in, I located an ocean on the other side of my lands, an ocean that I would become way too familiar with. Unfortunately, I was not able to acquire a trident on this first adventure, but it seems that whenever I look for something, I find something else that's arguably even better. While searching the ocean, I saw a desert, and decided to take a quick detour to look around for a temple. Not 30 seconds later, I saw one poking out of the sand. I didn't know what to expect, maybe a couple of saddles, some horse armor, maybe an enchanted book. But what I did find in here was nothing short of incredible. And surprising. I don't like this. Yes! But you think that was it? Nope. That wasn't all that happened. I also witnessed something that I had never seen before in Minecraft. Oh! What the heck just happened?! What? What the hell? I've never seen that happen. I did not know that husks could convert. You truly do learn something new every day. It amazes me just how much about this game I still don't know. My adventures also led me to a snowy tundra, and I decided to do a quick flyby murder of a stray. You never know. Maybe in 300 days I'll go for the achievement where you kill every mob. I was just thinking ahead is all. It was time for the second hunt of the Trident, This one went just as well as the first one in terms of trident luck, but since I was searching the same ocean over and over again, I wasn't exactly finding any new and exciting loot. However, I did find the biome that I wasn't expecting to find while looking for a trident of all things. A Badlands. Other than that, however, this hunt yielded absolutely nothing besides wasted time. So, I decided to take a break and focus on another goal. And that goal was Wither Skulls. I traveled out to my fortress, which I knew how to get to merely from memory at this point, and tried to set up a small wither skeleton farm. This of course didn't really work that well considering how close to land it was, so I decided to take a quick adventure to find a better one. Within a minute, and almost within viewing distance of my original fortress, I found a second one that was in a very nice spot. Oh, hello better fortress, much better fortress, holy! Wow. This is much better. Break this immediately. I missed. All I needed were 2 skulls, because, unbeknownst to me until I edited the first 100 days, I had actually acquired one while hunting blazes the first time, and I had completely forgotten about it. So, after just a little while longer hunting the charred skeletons, I gathered all 3 skulls and headed back home. I decided that this hunt would be my last hunt for the Trident. I would hunt for it until I got it. The issue was that they were incredibly rare, even with looting 3, which I had managed to get from my villagers before the second hunt. Trident drowns only have a 6.25% chance of spawning at all, and without looting, those Trident men only have an 8.5% chance to drop it. I hunted the ocean tirelessly, and after 4 straight days, which was over an hour and 20 minutes of real life, I gave up all hope of getting it. From the oceans, at least. Rivers, however, were a completely different story. I knew that drowns could spawn in flowing water, and I also knew that they could spawn at any height, as long as they were in ocean or river biomes. So, I used this to my advantage. I traveled to the nearest river and built up incredibly high enough so that no mobs could possibly spawn on the ground during nighttime. From there, I began to outline the river biome using F3, and began working on a Trident farm. Once this was done, I expanded the top layer of blocks so that all light levels in the water were below 7, even during the day. This was by far the ugliest thing I had ever built in this world, but thankfully, it finally paid off. And after 10 total days of searching, I brandished a brand new Trident. Please. Yes! Finally! Finally! Now, it was time for this game to get dangerous again. It was time to take that next step and use my wither skulls as they were intended to be used. It was time to fight the wither. Gathering my balls and my wits, I traveled out to my nearby plains biome, and with no hesitation at all, spawned in this monstrosity of a creature. Right over here. Alright.
That's not great, that's
and
efficient.
Boom!
It's safe.
Wait, no.
Oh, the horses will die. Oh, you can get some wither roses.
Yeah,
Let them
that's
kill
what I'm
some
doing.
things.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Kill them, fine.
What is he?
Okay, kill one thing.
Alright, yeah, let's
Build
go.
one thing and just like, okay.
Woo!
Oh shit, it's coming night.
Yeah. Oh! Whoa.
Oh, you didn't get withered.
Ah!
What is some of the things
Yeah.
that give you wither?
Yeah, it's
Where's that
weird.
with the rose that is?
Oh.
Ouch. I think I'm missing a lot.
Yeah, you're missing a lot.
Missing body.
You can see the arrows on the floor. Or at the
I
ground.
mean, you can just take it together.
Yeah, it's not that
Yeah.
Oh
hard.
my god!
Because we just
Literally no
we
damage.
just take a
Okay.
gamble now and then get a string, get another gamble and shoot it. Ah!
Attack.
Where is
The
it?
damage. Woo!
The damage. Oh my god. Okay. Nice.
Nice.
Woo. Oh my god, that's a trail of destruction. Oh, look at all the shots I missed.
Oh my god.
I missed so many shots. Well, that was easy. Swamp time! I headed out in search of diamonds once again. This time, it went by much more quickly and efficiently than the first try, because now, I had respiration on my helmet and a Riptide Trident. This meant I would not have to stop for air on my way down, and getting back up would be quick and easy. I still had a couple of interesting moments though. On 8. Oh!
Oh, that's scary. What? He's just going up. Look at him. Oh my god.
What the hell was that? Watch the look at me. Oh, I'm dancing. I'm dancing. I'm cringe.
You're pretty crazy. Okay, buddy.
After mining down one last time, I realized with a shock that I had collected every single small clay patch in this entire swamp. I returned home with another 2.5 stacks of diamond ore.
Balls.
Make predictions, guys. How much do you think I will get? There's 2 stacks and 30 here.
6 stacks clean.
6.5.
6.5. I'm
Maybe
gonna
that's 6.
guess 5.5. I think my luck will be bad this time.
Actually, 6 and 20 maybe. Oh, more.
Boom!
Oh,
5 stacks
5
and 45.
and 45.
45. Okay.
I was the closest, I guess. Once I mined those diamonds, I decided that I wasn't done yet. I left my home behind once again in search of a new swamp, and began pillaging that one as well, which brought me face to face with a massive chamber of mobs. Oh my god, that's a cave! Oh. Alright, are you guys ready?
It's still a cave.
Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah. Go in. Jesus Christ, this cave is so big. What the?
What the hell?
This is like the 1. This is like the 1.17 cave. What?
I'm fine, I'm fine, don't worry, don't worry. Foot steel OP.
Why is this thing so? What the frick?
Oh my god! What is
Like
this?
17.
What?
Literally like a 1.17 cave.
What
What?
is this? Why do I have?
What's
Why do I have
these?
torches in both my
What's
hands?
these?
And
Hello?
it cuts into
There's
a
a-
ravine.
What?
What? Bruh. This time, after collecting nearly 3 stacks, I returned home again, exhausted. I mined all my diamonds, and in total, I now had 2 entire stacks of diamond blocks. I knew that only one more trip would get me to my goal, and so, after taking a break, I headed back out for the last time. This swamp would hopefully be the last one I would ever have to abuse. Once I was done pillaging it, which sadly didn't yield any epic battle scenes or enough diamonds, I scavenged a few lakes and rivers nearby, looting all the clay and gravel patches they had to offer. Finally, after 3 more days of searching lakes, I returned to home to gather all my diamonds together. Oh my goodness, we actually have enough, wait. What? Do I have glass? I don't have glass. Imagine not having the last thing you need. I was proud, and I wanted to show off my beacon in the grandest way possible. Nah, I'm just kidding. Out in the middle of my lake where I had first used the clay strategy, I constructed a quartz altar, magnificent enough to hold my diamond beacon. All that was left to do now was build the beacon itself. And there's the achievements. Yes. Let's go. Oh my goodness. For the next week, I focused on netherite. I made nearly 2 stacks of TNT, and after repairing my tools at the Enderman Farm, headed into the nether for some good old explosive netherite mining. For all of my tools to become netherite, I would need 24 ancient debris. Netherite was not going to be easy, but thankfully, the TNT got me over 2/3 of the way there. I wanted to have some fun with the last debris I needed, so I decided to actually do some bastion raiding. I hadn't done this since day 30 or so when I first entered the Nether. Now, I was a lot more powerful than those days, so I began to hunt. I knew there was one close to my original fortress, so I headed that way first and began to raid it. I'm not that good at knowing which bastion was what, so unfortunately some gold and maybe some chests were left behind, but I still managed to get a lot of stuff. However, it wasn't exactly easy. I hear a brute. Suspect he's probably up these stairs. Oh god. Oh god. Ooh. Oh my god. Oh. Time to brute force this thing. I'm pretty sure I also found an insane fortress somewhere here. If I find it, I'll show you. After a few more days in the Nether, flying around from bastion to bastion, I decided I was done. I had traveled out over 3,000 blocks on my journey, so flying back was legitimately challenging, but also very fun as well. Next up on the list of things to do were to conquer the ocean monument near my spawn point. Raiding ocean monuments was not something I did very often, so I didn't know what to expect. What I least expected was for it to be the quickest task I have ever done. After just 10 minutes, it was over, and over half of that time was spent trying to find the final Elder Guardian, who was hidden away in the walls. At the end of it all, I had found 8 gold blocks and a few sponges, so it wasn't completely worthless, but it was pretty quick for a major task. Since the ocean monument went by so quickly, I knew now it was time for some classic Minecraft gameplay. I had run out of wood, so the logical thing to do was to get more. I started by spending a day in the Mega Taiga, chopping down an entire shulker box of spruce trees. I wanted to make sure that I wouldn't run out for a long time. But it wasn't just spruce that I wanted dark oak as well. So, I spent another day AFKing the creeper farm. With the gunpowder, I crafted a stack of TNT and headed out to the nearest dark oak forest. This TNT method was one I actually came up with myself, but I guarantee it's not an original idea, sadly. But what you do is you find a tree that you want, dig in near the top just under the leaves like this, and place the TNT inside of it. Light it up, and nearly all of the tree is gone. You can literally run through a forest doing this to all the trees there, and within minutes you have an entire inventory of dark oak. It's an expensive method, but I didn't build that creeper farm for nothing. The last 2 tasks left on the wall were to expand the village, do a raid, or pillage a woodland mansion. I wanted to chill out just a bit, so I chose to expand my village. From the very start, I knew that my little attic would not be sufficient enough to hold all my items that I would inevitably collect unless something terrible happened. So, I decided to build a storage room. And let me just say, I think it turned out great. I honestly had no idea what I was doing with this build while making it, but I decided to stick with the designs that I'd already done, and combine the barn design with the classic roof that the rest of my build shared. In case you couldn't already tell, I'm pretty proud of this one. On day 169, it was day 169. That's all I have to say. After transporting all my items from my original house to the new building, I spent some time and a lot of emeralds unlocking a Woodland Explorer map from a cartographer. This map would lead me directly to a Woodland Mansion, and I wanted to travel there on the Nether Roof. You can get on the Nether Roof with some strategic ender pearls. With an interesting setup like this, you can break it. Unfortunately, I guess I must have gotten lucky pearling through it the first time, because when I finally did break the bedrock that I went through, it was 2 layers thick. I have no idea how I managed to pearl through that. Thankfully, I had prepared enough for my adventure so that I had enough obsidian to create a new portal in case I needed to escape. But with my remaining resources for the bedrock breaking, I decided to test my luck. Some bedrock was only 1 block thick, which was what I was intentionally trying to find. But since my first attempt had been a fail, I chose a random block. Remember that, people. A random block to see if I was lucky enough to break through to something I can mine. Let's see if this works. I'm in the middle of nowhere, kind of. I'm gonna see if I've picked 1 block. That's perfect. I think that worked. Oh my god! Oh my god! We picked one block. We picked one block. That worked. Holy bro, I wish I was that lucky all the time. Now I began my search. 1 block traveled in the Nether is 8 blocks in the overworld, and Woodland Mansions are typically very far away, out in the tens of thousands. So I decided to try out a reasonable distance of 1,000 blocks, which would put me at just 8,000 in the overworld. When I built my portal and went through, I expected to be too far away still, but I was shocked to find that I had actually gone past it, way past it. So, I headed back into the Nether and began to fly back towards 0-0. The second portal I lit was nearly 700 blocks away from 0-0, which would put me at just over 5,000 in the overworld. Once again, still too far. Now I was beginning to wonder if this Woodland Mansion was much closer than I had originally thought. Could it possibly have been in the very dark oak forest I blew up with the TNT? Unfortunately, no. I wasn't that lucky. My third portal at 3,000 brought my position on the map to the bottom, meaning that it was between 3,000 and 5,000. You can tell if you're close to a location on the map if your dot on said map is larger than normal. And from this portal, it was. This meant that I could fly in the overworld the remaining distance. After 2 minutes of flying, there she was. I prepared for the fight and decided not to use the front door. And now, the battle began. Well, they're about to! They're about to! Die! Nah! Look at this, look how much damage they do, oh my god. The battle was intense, and I was beginning to realize just how strong these people actually were in hardcore mode. Regardless, I pushed on, and got my first ever Totem of Undying. Totem! Hey! Just when I had thought the battle was over, apparently the mansion had called for backup. Bro, there's raiders here? Oh god, they've called backup! I honestly don't even know if that's a thing. I think they literally naturally spawned here. After I defeated the mansion, I paid my respect to such worthy opponents by holding up an L and burning their base. I'm very courteous. My journey was not done yet. Now it was time for the most difficult task out of any I had ever faced before. Never before have I done a raid on my own in hardcore, so I had no idea what was in store for me. The raiders who showed up at the mansion had given me the bad omen effect, and rather than getting rid of it using milk, I decided that a nearby village would be the one I would fight my raid in instead of at my base. So, with my head held high, I sprinted into the unsuspecting village and prepared for battle. The first wave delivered Vindicators and Pillagers alike. With their weapons, they tried to break through my Netherite defenses, but to no avail. Wave 2 brought more of them, and I sprinted into battle, my Notch Apple and Totem shaking with anticipation to possibly be used. Wave 3 summoned a Ravager, who looked into my eyes with disgust and a lust for murder. However, not even he could break through my defenses, and I slayed him quickly. Wave 4 was when it became scary. Among the troops that had already been part of this, they now had witches on their side to heal them and attack me. Focusing on the witches first, I took damage and began consuming golden apples at an alarming rate. Thank God I had made so many. As the sun fell, Wave 5 began, spawning more creatures and foes alike, along with pillagers riding Ravagers. It was a sight I had seen before and never wanted to see again. This wave was the first one to genuinely hurt me, as a horde of Vindicators bursted out of a house and attacked me as a group. After eating yet another apple, I killed them too, and now I could see who they were protecting. An Evoker. I hadn't even seen him spawn in the original mob of enemies, so finding him here shocked me. But I was also excited. The more of them I killed, the more totems I would have. But before I could kill him, however, he summoned his Vexes to attack me. Thankfully, my aim was on point due to the adrenaline flowing through my veins, and I killed them with ease, but it wasn't over. Wave 6 began shortly after that. Thankfully, this wave seemed much more tame, but that would not last much longer. Also, this happened. I just picked up an egg? Guess I've never done that. But the raiders seemed to not care for my eggs. That sounded dirty. Wave 7 brought forth 2 mounted Ravagers and more Evokers. These ones had seen the flaws of their fallen brethren, which was attacking me individually, so they decided to change their strategy. They all rushed me at the same time, and not even my netherite armor could withstand the onslaught of the raiders. My totem was shaking furiously in my hand. It knew its time was near. This was the closest I had ever come to death. I almost ate my notch apple in this moment, but as the golden skin touched my lips, I knew that now was not the time. I knew I could kill them. As the Vexus dominated the skies, I dominated the ground, killing all remaining enemies. Oh, I've been poisoned. Yes! Woo! Oh, that was actually intense. I was proud. Defeating that threat without using my two most valuable items was a feat even the gods could applaud. Now, I sat back and wiped the sweat off my blocky brow and collected all the loot the raid had to offer. Hey guys, it's Editing Magicov here. I was going to talk about how the villagers at home gave me gifts because I had Hero of the Village, but I found a clip while editing that I think you guys might want to see a little bit more than that. Zombie villager holding my toe. No! No! What the hell? What the hell? After spending many days in the field of battle, I realized that besides the village expansion, which was technically a never-ending task, I had done everything on my task wall. That meant I would either need to build for the rest of the time or add a new task. After looking through the comments once again, one task popped out at me that I knew would be a perfect way to use up a lot of time efficiently. A gold farm. So, gathering some shulkers and some necessities, I traveled to the ocean in search of turtles. For the farm I wanted to create, I would need turtle eggs in order to lure the zombified pigment to where I wanted. I don't know why, but apparently the pigments don't care about my eggs either. Nah. Thankfully, I knew exactly where my turtles were after spending many days in the ocean in search of that dreadful trident. Therefore, collecting the turtle eggs was very easy. Now that I had the eggs, it was time to go back into the nether and begin mining magma blocks. For the farm I knew I wanted to create, I knew I would need 2 shulkers full of magma. Thankfully, magma is easy to come by and is instantly mined, so getting these 2 shulkers was actually quite easy. Now that I had everything I needed, I had to find out where to build it. The Nether Roof was definitely where it would go, but I would have to find another waste biome for the highest rates of gold. My memory of what my nether looked like below the roof actually guided me to the exact same nether waste that my fortress was in. I haven't checked, but I wouldn't be surprised if my gold farm is right above that fortress. Now it's time to build it. With the foundation built, it was time to build the funnel. I won't explain how this farm works and why I use grindstones, since this isn't 100 days of tutorials. But as I was building it, I discovered an interesting... Man. Why are there so many down here not moving? That might explain something. But finally, the farm was done. But I didn't wait around to see how well it worked. I had tools to repair, buildings to build, revenge to plot. Ugh, so much to do in so little time, you know? Finally, all major tasks were done. For the remainder of my time, I simply wanted to build. So that's what I did. I began by tidying up the area around my task wall, making it feel like a safe place to just chill out after a long day's work. Once I was done that, I wanted to relocate all my cured villagers into a separate and improved version of their current house. After gathering the blocks I would use, I got to work creating a build very similar to their current home, but as I said, improved a lot. house was completed, it was only a matter of bringing the villagers to their new house, which proved to be much harder than expected. Wait, what? Where are you going? Bro? Your lectern is not over there. I don't know where you're going. Where are you going? I don't understand this person right now. Where are you going? There's nothing over there. Oh my god, I hate them. There's nothing over there. What are you doing? You're gonna die. There's nothing there. And that villager's still trying to get up the fucking staircase. Oh my god. Holy crap, I actually swore at them. But finally, after a bit of trial and error, they finally claimed this house as their own. I wanted to make one more build before the end of my days. I had moved my storage out of my starter house. Now it's time to move the furnaces. I began to construct a furnace building that would easily stand out against the rest of my builds. Gathering all my stones, I found a good spot next to the storage room and began building. Once that building was complete, I only had 2 days left. For the last 2 days, I connected my new structures with roads. I liked this road design, so I continued it, even creating an artificial lake for it to cross between the villager house and the forge. On the final day, I flew around looking at all the things I had done. As I reached my task wall, I finally emptied it completely. Now we stand here, the task wall. These 2 tasks on this wall right now, they're both done. You know what that means? Absolutely everything is done. That sign there has always been pissing me off, so, bye. I took one last look around, even venturing to the Nether to look at my gold farm, and likewise with the Enderman Farm. I had done quite a lot. I had created a full diamond beacon, found a trident, and upgraded my tools. I had destroyed a wither, built an Enderman farm and a gold farm. I had raided an ocean monument, a woodland mansion, and defeated a raid. Almost died several times, but in the end, I pulled through. And of course, I did my favorite thing in Minecraft, building. I'd say this session was a complete success. So, once again, on the eve of day 200, I went into my house, took one last look at my ultimate flex, and crawled under the covers, signifying the end of this session and this video.